Welcome to the Creative Mastermind Podcast.
What's happening, folks?
You
What's
already know
up?
we got in the house. You have Sean Breeze in the house. You also have...
Cast Thrive. What's happening, peeps?
Yeah, we are all smiles. I am all smiles right now at this very moment. We are very happy to be back with you guys after a long hiatus. We are ready to give you guys much game so you guys can be successful in life. So you already know how we do. We talk about the weeks in review, what we did for the past few weeks while we were gone on vacation. And then we are going to hop into the subject, which is being a person who is willing to give value to others and also a person who is willing to receive value from others. So, yeah, you already know how we do. We start with Cass usually with his weeks in review, and then you hop into my weeks in review. So, yeah, Cass, go ahead and kick it off. What did you do these past weeks?
Most definitely, man. It was great. Spent time with the family. I trained my classes, the MMA, and actually my son, he had his first sparring experience and did a great job. He made Daddy proud. He was out there holding his own against some older kids, and he handled it like a man, a true champ, a true sport. And he's ready to get back in there. He'll be doing it again coming up.
Nice.
And also, I happened to train my little cousin. She's actually into Muay Thai and kickboxing and whatnot. So we met up and we did some pad work. She's a beast and she'll be having a fight coming up soon. So shout out to her, Bree. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely gonna support her with that. And other than that, man, just been enjoying life, enjoying the family, and trying to spend each moment improving myself, really paying attention to those things that are around me, and thriving. That's about it, bro. What about you?
I was about to say, before you get into what I did, but you talking about like your cousin getting into Muay Thai boxing, and it just made me think about how the sport is now becoming more popular within the States. And so I think that would be dope to see on your boxing belt. I'm not sure if you cover Muay Thai on your boxing belt, but that may be a cool little thing to get into. It just made me think about like the book that I read before I went on vacation, which was the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. And one of the laws is to be a person who is willing to be the first to do something, because the first person usually gets remembered before everybody else. And even though the secondary person may do it better than the first person, the person always get remembered. Like,
they put that stamp down the flag. Yeah.
Yeah. A good example would be Xerox. Like Xerox was like, I want to say one of the first people or the first people to have that copy machine. And so when most people went to go copy something, they would say, hey, can you Xerox that for me?
Yeah, right.
Or even like Netflix being like, I'm pretty sure they were in the first like streaming platform or the platform to like sell like stream movies, but they were the first to be known for it. And so anytime people talk about like going back to the crib, they talk about like Netflix and chilling. So anyway, that's a stream sidebar, but just the idea that popped into my head.
Most definitely.
So yeah. So what happened with me, Sean Breeze?
Tell him. What's that?
We were on vacation. We meaning the wife and I. We went on a baby moon, and so that's a new thing where couples go on a vacation before the baby gets here, so we can enjoy ourselves, enjoy our time together while we have it before the baby comes and disrupt all that stuff. And so we went to Tulum, Mexico, which is like south of Cancun, maybe an hour and a half out, if I remember correctly. I did drive both going to and back, but I don't remember how much time it took. But it wasn't a long drive at all, and people drive very aggressive there, so that was very funny and interesting. But anyway,
yeah.
Went to Tulum, chilled out, kicked back at like a little cool beach, and so I did a lot of beach stuff. Flew my drone around the beach areas, and like in both Tulum and Cancun, ate so much seafood and had like a good time. Ate healthy for the most part, and just like really enjoyed life, and really got to the point of where I felt like I did a good reset and having that fresh mindset whenever I got back to the States to take on and handle some business.
Necessary, man. Very necessary.
For sure. And so, what else? Just been more so like getting acclimated and getting ready for this baby. Had a baby shower this past Sunday. It was like all female baby shower. It was an all female baby shower. Yeah. I was the only guy there, and I only showed up at the point where they wanted me to help open the presents and then take the presents to the car. So that was my job.
And it was like, get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's cool.
That was
man.
that. And so the baby is coming really, really soon. Baby is doing
Awesome.
fine. So that's pretty cool. I'm very happy about that.
Blessings.
Of course, I have been working on music. I did work on music while I was on vacation, and so I like to always work on music while I'm on vacation because you go to places and you get this energy that's unique to that place, and so you want to. I want to make sure that I capture that energy. So like one time I made not one time, but there was this one time that I made a beat in China, Beijing, China. I called it Beijing, China. Even though like the final beat is different from what I made at the airport, I still had that energy that started from the airport, and I took it home with me and to finish that beat. So anyway, I just like to make beats on vacation just to capture different energy, and I made some pretty fire beats. So I'm very happy to share those later. I'm actually working on a beat tape. I am almost done with it. I had like this one last track that I would like to finish up, and then once that is done, it will be released. So I can say for sure. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot for a release of July 2nd, since that's a day that's very popular. Also, that reminds me, on July 2nd, there's this guy named Sean Dupree. He's actually an artist of my mentor, and actually did photography work for him. And I shot his cover for his single that's coming out. And so the cover is very fire. The photography was done by me, and then the artistry, like the additional drawings, were done by Tia. I'm about to say Tia Marie, but I can't remember the name. My bad. It's actually the daughter of the music producer mentor that I have, and so my bad. My apologies for not remembering your Instagram handle, but she did a very good job, and so I'm very excited to announce that. And so their single is coming out on July 2nd, and I did the photography for that cover, and so I'm just happy to be doing photography work, and so I'm actually working on his photographies, on his photos, to edit for him and get some more artist type of work for him. And so yeah, I've been working, and now just working and getting ready for the baby, basically, in summary. So I talked enough. Let's go ahead and hop into the subject, which is being a person who is willing to give value to others, and then being a person who is available to receive value from others. Because I know it almost sounds like common sense, but it's not that common that people practice this mentality. It's not often that people practice this mentality in their life. Where I can give an example for myself, where I would do photography, and actually I would do photography for free for a lot of people, and even to the point where people would actually offer to compensate me for that photography that I'd done for them, but I would then reject the compensation from it, and to be the nice guy. But what I realized I was really impeding my success, because I wasn't allowing the universe to flow back into me, because I was given to the universe, but I wasn't really open to receiving from the universe, and that has led to me to be into different various situations where I felt like I was taken advantage of eventually, but it was my fault because I wasn't open to receive from the universe at the time. So yeah, Cass, go ahead and talk about like your take on being a person who is willing to give value to others, and also being a person who is willing to receive value from others.
For sure, man. That is greatly important, because I believe that's how the world works. I mean, it's about exchange. You give and then you receive, and you got to be open. If you don't give, then how are you going to receive?
Yeah.
If you give and you're not willing to receive, then you're blocking off the exchange, the circulation that goes around, or that makes up the world. Because even I was listening to some guy, the first thing that we do when we're alive is we breathe. And then we exhale. We breathe in, then we exhale. So that's a give and take exchange in itself. We breathe in, so we take from the earth, the air from the earth, then we exhale and give out the carbon dioxide, CO2, whatever. But that's a give and exchange from the beginning. And we do that as we live. As we're living, we are doing that. And that also pertains to business, love, the masculine and the feminine.
That's
it's
true.
That give and take exchange.
That's true.
So we don't want to block that up in any way, any area of our life, because that is the way the world works, even with human beings to trees and all that. So
No, that's a very good point. Like you saying, like bringing up the feminine and the masculine energy that made me think immediately of my wife and I's, our relationship, and how I realized from reading this book. Free plug.
Got it on hand. Bam.
Free plug. And so the Go Giver. I read this book this week actually, and this book was given to me by this guy named Avinash. Shout out to Avinash. I met him randomly at Kroger's right before Kroger's. I had an S to Kroger's. Kroger. And I met him at Kroger in Las Colinas, and like randomly right before I went to go pick up my daughter. Yeah, I know. I'm getting used to that term. This is what my wife kind of instilled upon me. Anyway, point is, met the guy, ended up chopping up with the guy again at Starbucks, and he gave me this book. This book has changed my mindset and the mentality, and it's actually what inspired the show, because its main focus is to encourage people to be a person who is open to give value to others, give value with authenticity. I gotta make sure I say that word correctly, and also be a person who gives value and volume to many people, and also being a person who is open to receive from others. And so, and also, there's one last principle that I didn't mention within the book to you, Cass. It also talks about like not being a person who is like a tit for tat type of person, like a person who is like looking for the 50-50 deal. Because when you have that mentality of like, all right, let's do things 50-50, you're restricting your flow of giving. Like you're saying that, all right, my giving is based upon how much I feel like I'm receiving from this deal. So you're not really giving with authenticity. And so, you don't want to be a person who's like a 50-50 person, a tit for tat type of person. If you're going to give with your heart, give fully. Don't give half-ass, because then you're just really giving pointlessly, because you're not really giving your true nature, your true energy, your true self to others. So I'm not sure why I went on that tangent, but we went on that tangent for a reason, because that was directed by the Most High. Anyway,
most definitely. But
So,
no,
how
I
you
get
feel
what you're
about that?
saying. It's like the measure of how you give. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be different for everybody, because everybody has a different amount of love or whatever you're giving. That amount, a different amount. So you want to make sure that you're giving with the open heart. And receiving with an open heart, because if you're doing it like, oh, I'm doing this expecting to get this back from you or whatever, and you want to make sure that you're giving and with the open heart and with the measure that you feel is right, that you feel like, oh, this thought like, oh, let me give them the shirt off my back because that's what I felt like, God told me to do, or the universe, whatever you may, get centered from and get the flow from.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, then you do that. You should do that, and don't let the doubtful thought or the second thought. Well, if I give them the shirt off my back, then they might see that I got hairy armpits or something, or hairy chest. I got taco meat on my chest or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So go with that first thought that comes into your mind, and be a blessing to somebody, and it will come back to you. It's like that's the exchange in life. Life is like business, because that first breath we have, we breathe in, it's given to us, then we exhale and we give back, so it's that exchange of life, and the way the world works, it's just exchange. That's what it's about. It's not about being greedy. It's not about getting as much as we can. It's not about lifting ourselves up so we can look down at everybody else. It's not about that. That's a lonely life. That's a wicked life, really, if you ask me.
Yeah.
To want to be up over, and we want to lift each other up. We want to be together. We want to be in the party together, all having a good time, and not somebody looking down on somebody talking negative to somebody, making somebody feel less than our brother, less than our sister, less than a human being, because we are all human beings. So,
Very true, man. Very facts. Not very facts. Very true. Very true. I actually remember what I was going to say earlier, and I think why I went on that tangent was to bring up my wife, and how like she has been one of the most important instruments in helping me in getting out of that mentality of tit for tat, getting out of that mentality of like it should be one sided towards certain ways, and so I'm not sure. That's another random tangent I would say for sure, but yeah, like it's like what the book has done is really just make sure that I put the proper focus on making sure that I am a person who is giving value to others and not necessarily worry about what I receive at the end, and more so focus on make sure I'm giving love, giving value, helping others as much as possible in a way that replenishes me, I would say, and then just leave it at that and not be a person who is like giving just with some behind the scenes intent to take advantage of another person. So yeah.
Yeah, and on the business side of it, that makes perfect sense. On the business side of it, though, it's like I've heard somebody say a couple times is instead of wanting to have $1 million or whatever, figure out how you can serve 1 million people.
Yeah.
So give so you can give value, so you can give them content to serve a
That's
million
true.
people, and in return you're gonna have much more if you're able to
Exactly.
do that, much more than $1 million or whatever. It's not about that, but it's about giving your gift, giving content, giving value that other people can use. They're gonna spread the word, and you're gonna have influence and receive so much more fruit from planting those seeds. You know what I'm
Super
saying?
fast. 'Cause I had to think about like why I like certain things. Like I'm a very picky person. Like I don't like everything.
Yeah.
I like certain things that I absolutely love. And what those things have in common is the fact that they provide me with a abundant amount of value. Like I love the mentorship group that I'm in with Curtis King. He has like daily calls where he talks to the producers and give producers wisdom and information and wisdom and information. And he talks with us. He shares his intimate stories in order to help us feel better and approach life with a better outlook that will help ensure that we are successful in life. And so I love that, and I also love this restaurant called Kebabs to Go, which is super duper fire, super
I
duper
hate
fuego.
that, man.
I
What's
love you Kebabs to Go. This is like a free plug for Kebabs to Go, and that's because they provide so much damn value with their good ass food, and also New York Eats. I won't say New York Eats, but Kebabs to Go for sure. New York Eats, you're pretty fire too, but Kebabs to Go. You know what I'm saying? You do one. And the thing is, I love them because they provide so much value. So just think about the point. The reason why I brought those things up was I want you to think about why you like certain things and to really get to the root of it. And it's more than likely because they provide so much value to you in some way. Like maybe like reality TV shows with Love and Hip Hop that provides you that value of escaping from your current world problems. That's value. If that's what you value, that's what you value. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? To each their own. And so, but like, and so once you realize that, you will have the mentality, the mindset, the mentality and that mindset to focus more so on giving value to others because you know how important giving value to others is. Yeah, there you go.
Definitely, man. And that's purpose. That's why we're here to give our gifts and to make other people's lives better. And because just think, if you have something that you can give to somebody that's gonna make their situation better, make it where they are able to achieve a goal that would help somebody else, and then it comes back around and it would help your mother or something like that. That's why we don't want to block off. We don't know how that energy is gonna travel around, because that's pretty much what it is, giving out that right energy. And that's what we are. We're all energy, and
That's true.
we want to give off that energy in the right the right manner, and where it multiplies and will come back, because it multiplies. Whatever type of energy you give off, whether it be negative or whatever.
That's true.
And it will circulate back around, So just I would say keep that in mind, you know.
That is absolute facts. And I'm reading this book now called "Asking It Is Given," and it focuses on that. Like more importantly, it focuses on like making sure that you are always aware of your mindset and your mentality, and like how whatever you're thinking about is what you're attracting at that very moment. Even if you're thinking about like, oh, I don't want to get injured today. You're essentially thinking about getting injured in general because like you hope not to get injured, but you think about the possibility of you getting injured. So you even having that mentality, that mindset in your mind you're attracting that possibility to you. So what you just said just made me think about that and how
Most definitely.
it is very important that. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, what you said just made me think about that. Yeah,
For sure. And what ties along with that, like I was watching this dude or picked it up somewhere where it says emotion is energy in motion. So the emotion, that's why with we had the law of attraction stuff and the manifestation type of things, but the emotion tied along with that, the energy and motion is what really makes things connect and come together. When we give our emotions, our feelings with it, that's when it ties in and comes back. When we really have feeling when we give things, when we have feeling when we give love. And so that's why emotions are so powerful. We want to use our emotions, our energy and motion in the right way. And how we can do that is, if we want things to happen, is to ask think about it, first calm down with our breathing, think about it, and then ask ourselves why. Like when we start asking ourselves why, like why do I want to have $1 million so I can provide for my family and be able to help feed the homeless and all these different things, then I'm tying an emotion with that while I'm answering those questions. Like I'm playing it out in my head. And once I get that $1 million, what am I going to do? I'm going to open up this house for the homeless or whatever it is, but you're going through this and you're tying emotion and feeling into that. And that's how things happen quickly. And when we tie emotions and our feelings into it, because then we're picturing it, but we're also living it because we are feeling it. Like, feelings and emotion are very powerful. That's why if we have bad thoughts and all that, if we have a negative thought or whatever, don't tie emotion into that. Don't allow yourself to feel that or whatever. Be like, that's just let that thought go on. That's not, I don't accept that, whatever. But, tying feelings into bad or good thoughts or whatever could, cause that thing to grow, to sprout, to flourish and actually happen.
That is true, because they do mention that in Think and Grow Rich. Like whenever you so they they tell people to create a list of your desires, right, and then reach your desires before you go to sleep and when you wake up at night. And the most important aspect of it is the fact that you actually feel like those desires are going to come true, and that you actually have like the feeling of it, like your emotions are tied to it. I can give a more closer example that relates to me. It was when I saw the trailer for Revenge of the Dreamers 3. J. Cole put out, I think, yesterday.
Fire, man. I can't wait.
It was fire. So I saw a producer there, and I'm like, how the hell he get there, or whatever. And so a hater came out, right? The hater came out, and so at the
he was like, what out of
yeah. And so I had to, and I was like, yo, you mad because you want to be in that position, and yes, that's true. And so I wrote down you know what, when Revenge of the Dreamers 4 come out, I want to be there, and I had an emotion tied to it because I had the inner hater, and I turned the inner hater into no, I want to do that myself. And
understanding.
I want that. I want that too. And so, which is okay. If you had this is gonna be a totally different subject, but yeah, we're gonna have to do a topic about acknowledging your inner hater, and then turning that inner hater into something that you can use to help you acquire that which you desire. So yeah, anyway, but.
Man, and that I watched The Matrix last night.
Oh, really?
I'll be going back to that movie, man. But that's he in that movie, in the Matrix, and where in the which would be our world or whatever, he was able to manipulate and change things how he wanted it to go, and so that's pretty much with our emotions, with the hater or whatever, that negative thought, is we have the power to manipulate that and use it as fuel We have the power to just quiet it, to get rid of it, to throw it out or whatever. We have the power to manipulate certain areas of our lives. There's certain things that we can't control. Of course, we know that. But think about how many things we can manipulate and control in our lives. Like Neo, like the Matrix, dodge the bullets, fly, all of those type of things. So that's a dope movie. And there was a book, like there's a part where this is at the very beginning when he was a hacker and some people come to his door to pick up their disc or whatever, and he opens up the book where he had it hidden, and I've never heard anybody say anything, but I rewinded. I was like, what did that book say? And it was like the Simulacra or something of simulation, and the guy, it was originally written in France, so I'm gonna check that book out, but it was like the Simulacra of simulation. So I'm gonna check that out. I don't know if anybody's seen that or checked the book out, but
interesting.
Yeah, I was like, I caught that. I was like, let me check that book out. It's probably a hidden message by the producers. You know, they put something in there. So
that's a good point. Interesting.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So yeah, I think we killed that topic for sure. You know what I'm saying? The importance of giving value to others and also being open to receive. I'm not sure if we kind of expanded upon the receiving aspect of it. I know we talked about the giving aspect. Like, is there anything you can say in regards to just having that mindset, that mentality to just be open to receive and not blocking your blessings?
Yeah, I mean, that's who doesn't like receiving or getting a harvest. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
true.
Because it's like it also ties to my mind. It ties into like sowing and reaping. You know, you're giving, and it's coming from the hand, and then with the harvest or what you reap, you go out there and pick the corn, whatever. So it's that part. It's the blessing, the less work part of the transaction of giving and taking. You know, the giving, that's more of the work part of it, I would think, and then the receiving is more of the you know, being blessed. And you know, that's like, again, with the masculine and the feminine, you know, that balance. And you know, so you know, that's what I would say from it, you know.
Oh man, I just had a thought. Okay, I'm gonna still rock with it. And so like, it's essential to be a person who is open to receive. And I say that I more than likely chose not to receive because I didn't feel like I was, and this like more so like a deep down subconscious feeling, that I wasn't deserving of what I was receiving, or I didn't I wasn't worthy of receiving it, right? Yeah. And so I think some people may struggle with that. They deep down feel as though they are not worthy to receive what they put the hard work in, they did everything, and they feel as though like they still not worthy of receiving it. Some people are scared to receive. Like, I can imagine, like, well, I think sometimes I may be low-key scared to become super duper rich financially because I see how that has been a burden for so many people, being the only person who is like physically successful within the family. And so I may be doing some self-sabotage stuff within that realm. And so yeah, it's like I just realized this cord was here. It's so raggedy. But anyway, point is that you have to be a person who is open to receive, who is open to receive the blessings that God is trying to give to you. And that's also I think a part of it is the fact that allowing light to flow. Like, for instance, like this guy that I met at Kroger randomly, I'm just going with the flow of things. He wants to meet up with me. I'm not sure what's entirely in it for him or the people behind the scenes. But he wants to meet up with me. He gave me this book to read. I got great information from the book. I got a good mindset from the book. I thank him for that. I'm receiving that. I could have just been the person who was skeptical and just like, okay, maybe he's trying to get me into some type of multi-marketing scam type of thing, whatever. Could be, could not be. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I'm taking what was being given to me. I'm receiving what's being given to me at this very moment. If it's something that I don't desire, I move on from it. I don't make it difficult. I try to make sure I just go with the flow of life. So, yeah.
Most definitely, man. And look at it from our point of view, like as a giver, if we're trying to give to somebody and they decline or they don't accept it, then that's stopping us from being our best self, being our sowing our seed or giving, and then look at it from the aspect of God. If He's given us a blessing and we turn it down, or we aren't doing our part to receive it, so that just stops and complicates the whole transaction and the circulation of life and how the world works.
That's
So
true.
that would be my take on it, from the giving side of it to the receiving. It's all in the same, and it's all an equal importance. And we got to make sure that we do our part, sowing and reaping, giving, receiving, all of that. That's the flow of life.
Absolutely. Super duper facts, man. All right, so yeah, we did kill that for sure, for sure. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. We went over our usual time, but it's just pure fire that we had built up just from our long hiatus. So anyway, Cass, go ahead. Well, do you have any final comments, final statements in regards to the topic?
Not so much. We just need to pay attention to our surroundings and what we have going on in life, and look for, like, when you met with the guy, look for the opportunities to fellowship with people, to learn from each other, and just pay attention to what's going on around us. I know we have so much going on. We're moving back and forth and all that, but try to pay attention to what's going on so we can receive and give to other people.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's true. For me, any last things? No, just make sure you're a person that who is focused on giving value and not necessarily just trying to receive payment. I guarantee that you will feel more fulfilled in life if you're a person who is focused on giving value and giving to others. I think one of the main aspects of life that people do neglect a lot, they neglect the fact that that we are beings who want to feel as though we are valuable, that we are contributing to something. And so if you're a person who is not focused on giving value to others, and you're a person who just take, you may feel cool with the things that you have taken from people, but I know deep down inside you don't feel fulfilled. And so because you're not really giving value to others. And so anyway, that's my last 2 cents on that topic. So my socials, or my bad, Cass, go ahead and give out your socials.
Oh yeah, on Instagram, man, CAS_THRIVE, and at the Boxing Bell as well for some news updates in the boxing game and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, my socials, Sean Breeze, SeanBreeze.com, OG Sean Breeze on Twitter and Facebook. Sean Breeze, I mentioned earlier, was for Instagram. And what else? The Creative Masterminds.
Yeah.
On Facebook, YouTube. Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud. Yeah, that's mainly it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, man. Pardon the rustiness that I have we may both have. Hey, man, it's been a hiatus, and we getting back to the swing of things. But I think this show was super duper fire, super duper fuego. Anyway, so yeah. With that said, this has been the Creative Masterminds Podcast.
Yeah.
And we are out. Peace.
Holla.